in between my cheating and me ditching school and all these things, I got upset with people that I saw in their life, and I got obsessed with people who.
All right, here we go, man. Once again, let's get these squats in. What the hell is it? Welcome to the live chat. Oh, anyway, squatting, and after squatting for 20 minutes, we're gonna do is a little chest and tricep. All right, let's go.
I can go back to where I was 10, 11, 12 years old whenever the movie came out. I remember the first time watching it.
Hey, Google,
and
turn up the volume.
I'll never forget watching this guy who was Rocky.
Replay.
So why I like the Rocky film so much is when I was growing up, I didn't have much of a role model growing up. So in between my cheating and me ditching school and all these things, I got obsessed with people that I saw in my life in their life. And I got obsessed with people who struggled, with people who were at the bottom of the daggone sewer. I got obsessed with watching these people, and I got obsessed with watching Rocky 1, round 14. And the reason why this specific round is, even to this day, I'm 43 years old. To this day, what's chills my body is I can go back to where I was 10, 11, 12 years old whenever the movie came out. I remember my first time watching it, and I was watching round 14 of Rocky 1. I'll never forget watching this guy who was Rocky getting his butt kicked. Apollo Creed was just knocking him down, beating him up. All he wanted to do was go the distance. And to a lot of people, this makes no sense to them. But for a kid who's looking for strength, who's looking for, like, is it possible?
All right.
You're looking for, is it possible?
Get your shit in, man.
The impossible.
Squat.
And me watching this film, that's what I saw. So it was a no-name boxer against the best boxer in the world, who's Apollo Creed. Now watch this guy in the ring, who's Rocky, just getting his butt kicked, falling down, getting up. In the 14th round, Apollo was like just killing this guy. But also Apollo's tired. He's extremely tired. But Apollo knocks him down in the 14th round, like the 30th time. And even Rocky's coach, Mickey, is telling Rocky to stay down. And Apollo turns around. He turns around, he thinks that he got this guy. He thinks he beat him. He thinks he finally took this guy out. This guy just kept coming at him, and coming at him, coming at him. Apollo Creed turns around, puts his arms in the air. He turns his back to Rocky. Just assuming he's down. I got him. Everybody in the crowd saying, stay down. Everybody. This guy is climbing the ropes to get back up. Totally destroyed. Nothing left, but he found something. What's the thing about it? He found something. And I watched this guy get up. And once he gets up, Apollo Creed turns around and sees this. And the look I saw, most people don't even see this. The look I saw on Apollo Creed's face was this look of total awe of who the hell are you? Who am I fighting? It looked like Apollo Creed's soul left his body. And Rocky got his gloves.
Obama. Man, look, I got told Usher. I got told Nick Cannon. Now Obama. God damn. Well, you know, if I could talk like Obama.
With so many issues and so many things to climb over and overcome on my own. I wanted every obstacle and every person that ever doubted me to look like Apollo Creed. I wanted the people, whoever it was, people, obstacles, whatever, to look at me like this guy's going to continue coming after me. I wanted what Rocky had. This ability to keep getting up. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I'm the best. It's not about being the hardest man in the world. I just want to keep coming after you. So for years and years and years of visualizing that scene of that guy just getting up, it's just a movie to some people. And to me, it became what my reality had to become. I had to become that guy who can run on broken legs, who can endure the most pain, the most suffering, and get where I have to go to be that guy. A lot of people would never understand that. Because a lot of people don't have that kind of mindset.
I don't feel like squatting at all. But we go warm with every day before we hit the weights. We do anything. We squat for 20 minutes. And then we get into the real workout. So again, the real workout is going to be chest and triceps. So we're warming up the legs. Still warming up. Don't have to go too heavy today, Monday. Shit.
The what if mentality is the mentality of a lot of us in this world have people who say we cannot do something. You can't do it, you're too short, you look a certain way, you act a certain way, you're not smart enough. I hit that roadblock every time. I was 300 pounds. I'll never forget, I was 300 pounds. I went from 175 to 300 pounds, and my goal was to be a Navy SEAL. Impossible goal. And every Navy recruiter that saw me said that, besides one. Every recruiter said, there's no way, man. You're 297 pounds, and you got to lose so much weight so fast. I talked to one recruiter, and every day came back to my truck, and he said, you cannot do this. But I got in my truck and said to myself, but what if I could? What if I could pull off this miracle? How will I feel at the very end if I can defy all the odds? The what if mentality is this guy told me I was a 36 African American Navy SEAL. In Navy SEAL history over 70 years. This guy told me there's only 35 African Americans to ever be a Navy SEAL. He was pretty much telling me you ain't got what it takes.
So we're still warming up.
I took that and said, what if I can do 36? Versus taking what he said, all the negativity he's putting on me because he can't.
If that's real cool. Kevo, what's up? Prince, what's up?
They reflect. It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
They put that right on you.
Trying to hit my fucking legs.
I can't see.
Gotta squat every day, you know. Shaking hands with the weights.
That's totally discarded.
So after I shake hands with the weights for like 20 minutes, then I'm gonna get into some chest and triceps. But that's gonna be off camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put a 25 on. Well, put a 35 on here. All right. Add the 35 pounds on now. Damn pause squats. And pause squats are hard. NYC, what's up? I just slide to your DM. Shit, you did? I could have sworn my shit was deactivated. So I don't know. You must be sliding to the wrong pork chop one. All right. So again, we just warming up on the legs for 20 minutes, man, before we get into the real workout. That's the goal. We set up the tone for the real workout. That's why the reason why we squat every day. You gotta work on the largest muscle on your body, hype you up. All right, here we go. Hey Google, replay. All right, 5.
The winner mentality is the mentality of a lot of us in this world have people who say we cannot do something. You can't do it. You look a certain way, you act a certain way, you're not smart enough. Every time I was 300 pounds. I was 300 pounds. I went from 175 to 300 pounds, and my goal was to be impossible goal. And every Navy recruiter that saw me, every recruiter said, there's no way. You're 297 pounds, and you got to lose so much weight so fast. I talked to one recruiter, never get back.
Slap 45 on it now.
And he said, you cannot do this. I got in my truck and I said to myself, but what if I could? What if I could pull off this miracle? How would I feel at the very end if I could defy all the odds? The winning mentality is this guy told me I was a 36th African American Navy SEAL. In Navy SEAL District number 7 years. This guy told me there's only 35 African Americans to ever be a Navy SEAL. He's going to tell me, you ain't got what it takes. I took that and said, what if I could do 36? Versus taking what he said, all the negativity he's putting on me because he can't imagine himself doing what I'm about to do. So most people who can't imagine it, they reflect. It's like a mirror. They put that right on you.
Let's see.
They can't see themselves doing it. I can't see you doing it.
Draft beer.
Post
draft beer.
I said, boy, I can be the 36th person to ever do it. So I use all their negativity as positivity and fuel to get me to where I need to go.
All right. By the front squat again. How many minutes has it been? 13 minutes? All right, cool. 13 minutes in. All right, here we go. Let me see. Let me try this out. Did you squat? Trust pigeons. Did you squat? Did you squat today? I guess that's I don't know if I'm doing this shit right. You look like a retired. Oh man, that shit funny. I ain't gonna lie. Hey man, I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Then. If you think I was in the NFL, I'm gonna take that shit as a compliment. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna show that shit. I'm not gonna hide it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pin your message. I'm gonna turn that shit into positivity. That's what you gotta do, man. Sometimes you gotta turn shit like that into positivity. I'm not gonna get mad at that. I'm gonna look at shit as a compliment. 5 more. I'm gonna slap a 10 on there. And we just keep going up on the weight. So I got 15 minutes in. All right, here we go. All right.
The cookie jar. The cookie jar is something I developed years ago. So what happens to me happens to a lot of us in situations. We get put in these situations. In my whole life, I've been put in struggles. I've put myself in struggles. I purposely put obstacles in front of me to see how I'm going to feel. Like, for instance, I run 205 miles at one time, nonstop. Do you know what goes through your mind when your goal is to run over 200 miles and you're at mile 100? You're at mile 100. You've run for 24 hours. And your body is broken. You're destroyed. You have nothing left. And you have 100 plus miles. How do you find way? So you develop this thing called the cookie jar. And the cookie jar is a reminder. That's all it is. It's a reminder. Even the hardest runs on the planet, we forget how badass we are. When times get hard, your mind spazzes out.
All right, slap a 10 on it.
Go somewhere else. We forget that cookie jar. You gotta take 1 second. Take 1 second, and that cookie jar has all these things in it. All the things you overcame, all the things that you suffered through, all the things that got in your way, and you fought through. So you go in your mental cookie jar. When you're going through bad times, you want to quit.
So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna do 5 reps of there. I'm gonna slap a 25 on there. That should be my max on front squats. So if I can front squat that 5 times, I know I'm getting stronger. I know that I'm getting stronger. So that's the reason why I'm squatting every day. I'm shaking hands with the weights. No matter how I feel or what I'm going through, I'm going to continue shaking hands with the weights. It's all about mindset, man. All right, 5 reps. All right. So we're going for the max. I'm about to slap a 25 on there. I'm trying to see if I can front squat with that. Man, this shit tired me out. This is a 10 pounds.
It's not easy going it alone. But if you keep going, stay true to yourself, it will be worth it in the end.
All right. See, the funny thing about this is that today is not even leg day. You know what I'm saying? Today is not even leg day. It's not even leg day. But guess what? I'm still building up my legs. Still feeling strong about doing this.
To all of you fighting battles alone. To all of you going against the grain.
So, I'm 20 minutes in. I'm late. All right, so this is going to be the max.
Stay strong.
Here we go.
Keep going.
This is the max.
Stay strong.
On front squats.
Keep going. This walk is hard, but the hardest walks lead to the greatest destinations. The toughest climbs always lead to the best views. It will be worth it in the end. And if you show what you are made of, the right people will show up in your life. You won't be alone.
All right, max. This is the max.
You have qualities only few can admire because most don't possess. One rep. You have strength only few can understand because most have never experienced. So don't give in. Don't settle. Don't lower your expectations to fit to the world. You were born to stand out. You were born to lead.
Come on.
Lead the pack.
One more.
They say the wolf on the hill is never stronger as the wolf climbing the hill. Always be that wolf climbing the hill.
All right, man, that's my max. I'm fucking tired now.
Always hungry to
I'm
grow,
tired, shit.
to feed your mind and rise to the highest level.
So we got the legs workout in. That's good.
Always looking forward
Now,
to the next
let's get into some chest and triceps.
success in whatever you do.
So I got 20 more minutes.
It does not matter if you have to walk alone for a while. It is much better to walk alone in the right direction than to follow the herd walking in the wrong direction. Stay strong. Be different. Your destiny is in your hands. Get out there and hunt it.
Alright, so I don't know if I should be recording I don't know. Because I normally just record the squats. I don't know if I need to be recording the weightlifting part of the chest and arms. DJ, what's up? Alright, let's go. Alright. I guess I can do it. I'm not gonna lift heavy. Alright, so here we go. Chest. Hey, Google. Skip.
By using these affirmations,
Hey, Google, skip.
you have
Hey, Google, skip. Hey, Google, skip. Hey, Google, skip. Man, this damn thing here. Hey, Google, skip.
I want you to think about your
All right, here we
social
go.
contribution. Whatever those goals are that you envision, I want you to expand them in your mind. And don't underestimate yourself. Even if you have a goal that you can't see, it doesn't matter. You don't have to see it. Eye has not seen. Ear has not heard. So as you begin to think about that, let us say together, it's possible. Say it again with conviction. I'm doing a training now called Discover Your Purpose.
Man, I don't expect many people to stay on, man, but You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be doing some chest and triceps.
Do that quickly, please. So you have something special.
Hey Google, play Les Brown Courage.
Got it. Here's a YouTube music playlist called Les Brown Encouragement.
How you doing? I'm gonna ask you how you doing. I want you to say very good.
Triceps.
How you doing? And sometimes even better than that, right? I want to just let you know I really appreciate the opportunity to share some time with you again. Why don't you give it a round of applause, please? Yes, it's possible for you to live your dream. It's necessary that you associate with winners, that you work your system, that you are relentless, that you never give up. It's you. You've got to take personal responsibility. You've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. And you've got to resolve within yourself that I can do this. That it's hard. But you've got to say, I'm the one. I'm the one to make this happen. I'm the one to become successful in this business. As you work to help other people become successful, that means your success. But you know it's going to be hard. But find out what will make it worth it for you. I told Mr. Washington I wanted to become a disc jockey. Someone asked me to tell the story. And he said, "Yes, Brown." He said, if you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry. And so I started working to develop myself. He said, I want you to practice every day being a disc jockey. I said, but I don't have any job now. He said, it doesn't matter. He said that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So every day I was working to develop myself. And that's what you must do. And as I was working to develop myself, I applied for a job as a disc jockey, WMD of Miami Beach. Went to a guy named Milton Butterball. I said, how are you doing, Mr. Butterball? I'd like to get a job as a disc jockey. He looked at me, he said, you have any broadcast background? I said, no, sir, I don't. You have any journalism background? I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, we don't have any jobs available. I said, yes, sir. I went back to Mr. Washington and I told him. He said, don't take it personally. He said, most people are so negative, they will have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, go back again. So I went back again. I said, how you doing, Mr. Butterball? My name is Les Brown. He said, I know what your name is. What do you want? I said, I'd like to know whether or not you have any jobs at this jockey, sir. He said, didn't I just tell you yesterday we didn't have any jobs? I said, yes, sir, but I don't know whether or not somebody got laid off or somebody was fired, sir. He said, no one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? He said, fine. What do you want now? I said, I'd like to know whether or not you got any jobs, sir. Didn't I tell you the last 2 days we didn't have any jobs? I said, yes, sir, but I don't know whether or not somebody got sick or somebody died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. Now don't come back here and throw me out again. I came back the next day like I was seeing you for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? He looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. And I went to get him some coffee. After a while, I would get them lunch and dinner, and I would go in the control room and take the disc jockeys their food, and I would not leave until they were asked to leave. Then they started trusting me to pick up entertainers from came to town. Entertainers like the Fort Tops and the Temptations and Diana Ross and Supreme. I would drive them all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. And one day, one Saturday afternoon, while I was at the radio station, a guy named Rock was drinking while he was on the air. I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room windows, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. Pretty soon the phone rang and it was a general manager. And I told him, I said, hello. He said, Les, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock finish this program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must be thinking I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend Cassandra. I said, y'all turn up the radio and come out on the front porch. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes. And I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, do you know how to work in control? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and go sit down here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get behind those controls. I put on a whole Stevie Wonder. I sat down behind that turntable. I said, look out, this is B.O.B. Triple B. Let's find your play up, play papa. There will none before me, there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love to make certified, qualified, and duly qualified. The radio satisfaction, a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, on your love, man. I was hungry. I was hungry. You gotta be hungry. I want you to think about your social contact. Whatever those goals are that you're seeking, I want you to expand your mind. And don't underestimate yourself. Even if you have a goal that you can't see, it doesn't matter. You don't have to see it. Eye has not seen. Ear has not heard. So as you begin to think about that, let us say together, it's possible. Say it again with conviction. I'm doing a training now called Discover Your Power Voice. One of the things I've found is that we have something in us that many of us don't recognize. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes and say, you have something special. Do that quickly, please. Say, you have something special. So I want you to begin to look at and think about your goals. And one of the things that I want to do as we walk through and talk about what it is that you want to achieve with your life, I want you to think about your communities and how we live our lives is a result of our state of mind. How many of you can agree with that? Very good. Now, I want you to write this down and listen to this statement. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. How we live our lives is a result of the story we believe about ourselves. How many of you leaders, raise your hands, please? Good. In this short time, I'm going to share with you one of the most effective things that I've ever discovered in terms of my own personal life, the things that you can do. How many want to make a greater impact with the people that you lead? Raise your hands. But I want you to think about it. How we live our lives is a result of the story we believe about ourselves. What's going on right now in the media around the world, in newspaper, radio, and television, the stories about the economy. The economy. A friend of mine was talking the other day, and I heard him talking about, did you hear about the stock market? He was talking to a friend on the telephone. And as I was watching and overhearing the conversation, I listened not only to what he was saying, but how he was responding. And I was thinking about the person on the other end. This is very important. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, don't forget you're a leader. Do that right now. Now, in this, I'm going to condense this and listen to me, and this is clear. If you get what I'm saying to you, when you go back, you're going to make greater impact on people. You will change people's lives. You'll be able to create an economic renaissance. You'll be able to help people to begin to build their futures. And it's something very practical and very simple. And sometimes because things are simple, we miss them. Now, remember when I said how we live our lives is a result of the story we believe about ourselves. So I want you to write this down. Distract, dispute, and inspire. As leaders, when you go back to your respective communities, your countries, one of the most important things is that you must get some training on how to discover your power voice to deliver, write this down, a strategic message and a strategic narrative that will distract, dispute, and inspire. A strategic message and a strategic narrative. Let me share with you. I was born in the poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor with a twin roof. We were 6 weeks of age. We were adopted. When I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mental retarded. Went back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again in the 8th grade. I was told a story about myself.
All right. Man, I'm fucking tired. So, I got what, 5 more minutes in? He said crafty. That's funny, man. I ain't gonna lie. Alright, here we go.
When I was in the 11th grade, a gentleman, Mr. Leroy Washington, I will be with him this coming weekend in Orlando, Florida, where I'm doing the training called Discover Your Power Voice. He helped me to discover my power voice. He said, young man, go to board, learn to follow my for me. I said, sir, I can't do that. Why not?
All right, here we go.
Look at me, yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow. I can't do that, sir. Why? Sir, because I'm educated, retarded, sir. I'm in special education. And they said, he's DT. What do you mean? That's Leslie. That's not Wesley. He's DT. He's a dumb twin. And as many of the students laughed, and I was looking at him and he came from behind his desk and he said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That was a turning point in my life. On one hand, I was humiliated. But on the other hand, I was liberated. Because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be. Now, my mother, she did the best that she could. She would say, when I would come home crying after being in a fight, being called a dumb twin, Leslie, don't worry about what people say about you. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. I said, Mama, but they do hurt. How many of you know words hurt? Raise your hand, please. Now, Mama was doing the best that she knew how. Mr. Washington was a communicator. He was a speech and drama instructor. He knew how to deliver a strategic message that distracted me from believing that I was DT the dumb twin. And he, through this strategic message, began to cause me to step away from the possibility of blindness that I was now living within this story, thinking that I was the dumb twin, and inspired me to give birth to a person that you now see that I did not know existed. Am I making sense to you? When you go back as a leader, why it's important, number one, write this down, get some coaching. See, because of the role that you play and how important it is and how valuable that role is, we can't leave it to chance. It's not enough just to talk. You want to deliver a strategic message that will make impact, that will cause people to reflect, that impact how they think, that will begin to ignite how they feel, and begin to inspire them to become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing new chapters in their lives. Does that make sense? See, because at the end of our conversation, at the end of our speeches or seminars or workshops, if they don't change how they think and feel, if they don't begin to have the feeling within themselves, I can do this. Yes, I can. If they don't change their behavior, we haven't done anything. Maybe that's why my favorite book says, you're not according to appearances, righteous judgment, and judge a tree by the fruit it bears. All right? Let me tell you how important words are. If I say to you, what is your name, ma'am? Sheila. If I say, Sheila, you can't do that. Someone else has to come along, Sheila, and say, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. 16 times to neutralize at one time. That's why my favorite book says, faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And so as leaders, understanding the role that you play, even though we're made in the likeness and image of God, and has been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, we will never, listen to me, we will never exercise authority and dominion.
I don't know if you see it, but I got a little vein popping out. Look at that. We got a little vein popping out right now.
This is why you, as a messenger, and delivering and taking the time to get coaching and training on how to deliver a strategic message, because when we leave here, there are people who are watching the news, who are taking that in, and who are spreading, who are impacting others with a negative conversation. In the beginning was the word. Thou shalt decree a thing, it shall be established. I'm saying to you, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Write this down, please. Monitor your mouth. Monitor your mouth. Why? Death and life is in the tongue. During the Depression in the United States, Procter & Gamble and a few corporations decided to adapt the way of thinking and operating and how they train their people. During the Depression, they went, and the leader at that time spoke to them and said, the Depression does not exist for us. We are forbidden to speak about it. We will not carry ourselves as if we are in a depression. We will spend more money on advertising and marketing and increase our presence. Write this down. In time of adversity, expand. In time of adversity, expand. The reason that I had you to shake someone's hand and say, you have something special, is because you do. The fact that you're here. You were designed with greatness and engineered to do great things. In so-called tough economic times, many of you couldn't afford to be here, but there's something in you that said, I can't afford not to be here. The greater is he that is in me than he that's in the world. I'm going to operate from a place of having rather than a place of not having. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, and so as we begin to look, I want you to think about your goals and dreams. We all were born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. Everything else we learn. And so what happens is that all of us, and Dr. Nellie Rainey said this, she said all of us have a front row seat in life, but we've been trained how to sit in the front row with our eyes closed. There are people who are talking about how bad the economy is because their eyes are closed. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been told opportunity knocks on every door. How many of you heard that? Raise your hands. All right, good. Listen, write this down. Opportunity does not knock on every door. Opportunity stands by silently, waiting for us to recognize it. At the beginning of the 19th century, there was a crisis. Crisis in the Chinese language means danger, and it means opportunity. And the crisis was that human beings are being born faster than there were horses to be able to move them around. That was a crisis. We're all going to be walking pretty soon because there's not enough horses that are being born to accommodate the transportation to move people from one end of the country, to move and transport goods and services and food. That gave birth to Henry Ford and the T model Ford. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thanks. Let me share something with you. It's interesting, this thing called life. So let's look. I want you to think about your goals and dreams. Here's what has happened. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can determine what a man should think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. He said, if you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to determine. I'm about to get off of this. Yep, that's Brown. That's Brown getting it in just to motivate me. That's all it is. Anyway, man, I'm about to get out of here. Oh, pull ups. I thought I not text you, but I thought I mentioned or boy live. Yo man, I'm doing 60 pull-ups a day now. 60 pull-ups a day. It may not be much to a lot of people, but guess what? It's a lot to me. So yeah, 60 pull-ups. So man, it's been working out. So to be honest with you, by me doing them pull-ups, because my shoulder was sort of bothering me. But when I started incorporating more pull-ups into it, hey, I don't have the shoulder problem anymore, so that's why you see me doing a lot of lateral raises now. Because at first I wasn't doing no lateral raises till you told me about doing those pull-ups. It's helping out. So appreciate that, DJ. Thank you for opening my mind to get in there and do pull-ups because yeah, pull-ups wasn't my thing. So if it takes me a while, it takes me a while. But yeah, I do 60 a day now. 60 pull-ups. Yep. 60 pull-ups a day. On studying the mind and how to transform the mind. Those leaders that come to our training called Discover Your Power Voice, we're going to show you how you can change your life and how you can change others. We change the messenger and help you to deliver a strategic message that will cause you and empower you to do some incredible things in your own life because we have to be the message that we bring. Don't teach what you don't know and don't lead where you don't go because you don't get in life what you want. Write this down. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Good. We'll teach you how to speak to the heart. Teach you how to do that because there's a process. All of us learn. Everybody learns. share this with you. And so we begin to look at this hood-infected virus because our young people, they see that on a regular basis. They listen to that. Garbage in, garbage what? No, garbage in, garbage stays. And it stinks. It shows up in their attitude. It shows up in their behavior. They become violent, belligerent, disrespectful. It stinks. It shows up how they dress and not valuing education and not valuing life. It stinks. It's toxic. It's not cute. It's not in, it's not out. Addiction to incarceration and death syndrome. It's become the new normal. When I was young, going to jail, you were ashamed. Then after that, it was tolerated. Then after that, it was embraced and expected. True story. Scott graduated from school with a master's degree. He went home. Nobody was there to meet him in Miami. His cousin got out of jail and they had a welcome home party. That's not funny. That's inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have this in your country? Raise your hand. Understand this. Communities are created by people, and they can be changed by people. And the secret is to maintain commitment. The secret is to be willing to develop a new set of skills. Einstein said the thinking that has brought us this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. Maybe that's one of my favorite books. The Decree by the Prudent Bears. If what you've been doing has not reduced that, then we have to begin to ask, how do we measure effectiveness? Let me ask you today, are you a citizen of the kingdom? I said, well, accepted you, Jesus. Oh, you know, have you accepted Jesus as your personal Lord? Herein my Father glorified, and ye bear much fruit. Not just giving lip service, but life service. The greatest among you will be your servant. Does that make sense? It's easy to go on. Well, we saved 50 souls today. Is that right? Have you impacted that? Ignorance, murder, and incarceration have become a main part of our culture. If we say and believe we are more than conquerors, then that should be unacceptable to us. We should look at what kind of programs can we create that can impact that. Over 700 Black and Latino young men waste their lives like this. Most of them don't read till they go to jail. That's just in the United States. I haven't even included your country, Brazil, Jamaica, Nassau, Trinidad, Malaysia. Fathers, brothers, uncles, sons. They were chosen 1 out of 400 billion sperm. You think they were chosen just to end up like that? When I see that, I get angry with myself. You know why? Because this lifestyle that you hear right now, for 13 years, I didn't permit myself to speak because I don't have a heart. I didn't permit myself to speak because I didn't believe it. I didn't permit myself to speak because I said, who would want to hear me? Have you ever thought about something you want to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hand. I talked myself out of it. I saw this movie, Jack Nicholson, called About Smith. Talked to me 4 times. And have you ever seen a movie several times and then you saw it so many times you start seeing some stuff that you hadn't seen or heard before? Raise your hands. In this movie, Jack Nicholson said that he adopted a little boy in Africa named Nduku. All right. He wrote him a letter. He said, Nduku,
oh, shit.
when you die,
I got a super chat.
you know dies,
Dang. Oh, shit. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. I'm tired, though. I'll tell you that, man. In this hot ass garage. Man, shout out to Dan. Big W for Dan. Appreciate it, brother. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate the positivity, man. Thank you once again. I'm about to wrap it up though. Do one more round. I've been on here for 50 minutes. And I'm out of here. All right, last one.
If we speak the words, we must live what we speak. Does that make sense? So, I believe it. Let us sit together.
All right, here we go.
My first children ourselves. Yeah. You know, God asked three questions. Number one, where are you? He asked him, where was Jesus? He didn't ask him that. He didn't ask him, where's the church? He didn't ask him, where's the Bible? Where are God? He didn't ask him, where are you?
Some more.
Because he didn't know him. God is all knowing. Omniscient, correct. Omnipresent, even present everywhere at the same time. He asked him that God
I'm
gave you
fucking
the prayer.
tired now.
I want you to think. Another question back.
Oh, what? You think so? Man, that shit is all clutter. This shit is clutter. I need to fix that up. By me looking at the background, I don't like. I mean, that's my stuff in my garage, but yeah, I need to kind of work on that a little bit more. But thank you, though. That's a small setup, but hey, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for me, but thank you again. Like, I got all this equipment for $150. The bench, the Olympic bar. I got the weights for, that was included too. The weights, the bench. I got all that for $150. So it was a steal. I couldn't pass it up. So the amount of weight goes up to 450 pounds. So yeah, man, I got the easy curl bar, the tricep bar, all of that for $150. It was a good steal. Yep, it was a good steal. No more, he didn't want it anymore. Well, it was an older gentleman that was used to lift, but he doesn't lift anymore. So he's just been trying to get rid of the equipment. So I seen it on Facebook Marketplace. I got it. So yeah, it's the whole bench, the squat rack, 450 pounds of weight, the easy curl bar, the dumbbell, tricep bar. Man, it was a good deal, so I couldn't pass it up. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna do some upright rolls, and I'm about to get out of here. Hey, Google. Skip. The people that want to step into their greatness are hungry. Hey, Google. So you gotta be pause. Get out of here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 5 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm done. Yeah. Oh man. All right, I'm out of here. Yeah, it's a good deal, but I'm out of here. I'm tired, shit. It's 11 something right now, so let me go shower, get my ass in the bed. But then, thank you again for the $2, man. I do appreciate it. It's better than nothing. I'm grateful for that. Really am. So, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been 55 minutes, but it's late. I'm ready to take my ass to bed because I had to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. Everyone, take care of yourself. Peace out.